I'm a compulsive overeater, and thank you so much for asking me to share today. Um, I tell you, boy, I haven't shared in so long just because of the COVID um, that I wasn't really prepared because I'm not that kind of girl. I sort of just wing it. Anyway, the only thing I don't wing is my abstinence, my gray sheet abstinence. So just a little bit about me. Um, I am the oldest of five sisters. And when we were kids, things were a little scarce, but obviously food wasn't because three out of the five of us all had food problems. Um, and so because I was the oldest, I was kind of the keeper of the food, the snack food, because my mom, who was a single parent, was working. And just an example of what I would do, I would buy one of those bar things, and that was supposed to share for everybody, but I would break off the smallest piece for the four other sisters, and I would have the bigger piece. Or the stuff that you go to the movies and have. I would have the biggest bowl, and they would have a small bowl. And they always called me the Queen Meanie because I was so um, I just loved being the boss, and being the boss around the food even made it better. I got married really early. I lived abroad for quite a while. Their food and alcohol were plentiful. They family members, in-laws, would offer food and alcohol before they'd even say hello, just about. So I was, even though I was in a Caribbean country and luckily everybody spoke English, I was, the damn Yankee, and I did everything backwards. But the thing I didn't do backwards was I like to eat and I like to drink. So everybody accepted me because of that. When I got back to the States, and I was married at the time, and I had my first child, I lived in Plymouth, Massachusetts, and my house was the Dewdrop Inn. Everybody came on Sundays, and I was Betty Crocker. I mean, I cooked everything. Everybody loved to come because I was a good cook, and I still am. I tried the other OA, probably back in 72, maybe, and I lost weight just because I was doing moderate meals, but I lived long enough to gain it all back. And it wasn't until I moved up to Cambridge, Mass. I was in the process of getting divorced, and I said I would try OA again, only I didn't know that the OA meeting I was going to was in fact a gray sheet meeting. And I had no expectations of what that would be. I figured it was more of the same. Boy, was I surprised when I found out that you weigh and measure your food. At home, I didn't mind. Out in public, that was a different story. I was not thrilled about that. So, grace of God, I got a sponsor. I happened to get the sponsor was around my own age. At that time, there were a lot of young women there, and I'm like, they don't know anything because they're not old enough. But in fact, the disease is the disease. They knew as much as I didn't know at that point. And I can remember counting the days and thinking, oh boy, if I got 90 days, man, this is going to be awesome. And then I would, project a year. Well, okay, I seem to be able to do it. And I had made enough friends in the program to help me stay sober, abstinent. Back then, we didn't have cell phones as much as we do now. So you had a ton of quarters and dimes, and you made calls at pay stations and phone booths and wherever else you could find a phone. And it worked. It worked really well. I still have some of those friends in the program today. One of the girls that I sponsor has been abstinent for 40 years. And when she qualified a couple of statutes ago, I thought, 40 years? And then I thought, okay, boo-boo, you've been abstinent 35 years. I haven't done anything consistently for 35 years except be alive. And I don't know why my higher power has helped me every day, but everybody's used to my cupping scale. Before we had the digital scales, I had, the regular ones, and my cups were metal. And when I went out with my kids, my son would say, Mom, don't forget your G.I. Joe stuff, because it clanks like military hardware. And I never had to worry about having enough. For one thing, my son hated salad, and especially tomatoes, so I always got that. I wasn't a shy person, so I didn't mind having to ask for more servings. Things like asparagus, you get 3 stalks. I ended up having to have 4 servings of that, just to make sure that I had enough. I've learned since not to have that out because it's a pain in the butt. I was divorced, and I was going out, meeting new people, and my current husband, bless his heart, never had a problem with the fact that I wouldn't go out to eat if it wasn't my mealtime. And even up to including last week, we broke out of the quarantine and we went to a neighborhood restaurant. And my husband always asked me, do you have enough? Do you have to have something off my plate? And I'm not shy. So, the times that has happened, I've taken quite a bit off of his plate. And it's okay. He really doesn't have a food problem. What is kind of ironic is he's a diabetic, so he has to watch what he eats. Sweets are not something he likes ordinarily. Who'd have thunk it? He's a different breed of cat. Every different time that he'll have something sweet, I'm like, okay, he'll take whatever portion and leave the rest. I'm like, who does that? Nobody does that. This compulsive overeater, if she didn't have limits, man, it would all go to hell in a handbasket. I have my great-granddaughter and my granddaughter living with us now because of a lot of the violence up in the Boston, Mass area. And luckily we have a 2-floor house, and we have another fridge up there. So all the foods that we avoid can be upstairs, and that's a good thing. it still makes me a little jiggy when I see them cooking whatever. But because of this program and because of Al-Anon, I've learned to just mind my business. It is not my food. Thanks. And so I just am really glad that I've been in the program this long and that my higher power has helped me to stay abstinent and to um, be a power of example. I know I have to say now I'm heavier than I've ever been. Lack of exercise. I'll be 76 in August. Um, and, you know, I finally learned what you put in your mouth affects your body. So there are a lot of things that I shouldn't be eating, but they're abstinent. They're on the gray sheet, and I eat them anyway. So it's either eggs or young ones. I can't have both. So hopefully, when the Y opens up and I can get back to the exercising and swimming, I'll shed some of the pounds. But if not, I'm at least abstinent, and that's the best that I can do. So with that, I'll close, and thanks everybody for asking me. Bye-bye.